Yeah.
All right, so Steve sent out the minutes today. Did everybody have a chance to take a look at them?
Yeah, sorry they're
Yes.
so late. And I've had writer's block lately, so.
No, they look good to me.
I didn't see anything that needed changing.
The only thing I'm going to suggest is that the line where you said that we've decided to remove most of the bollards, I think that's still a little bit up in the, we need to go
Okay.
and take a look at them.
We are going to study them.
Study
All right.
removing some of the bollards. That's better, I think.
All right, I'll do that, Barb, and get it out to you later.
Oh, no problem. I'm not going to be in tomorrow anyway.
Okay.
So. All right. Let's see what else.
Well, do we need to make a motion to accept the minutes?
Oh, yeah. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes of the January 25th meeting?
Can we do that without a quorum?
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to accept the minutes.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I think there's a cloud over these minutes now, Barb.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Wendy, why don't you give the little update on the porta potty situation?
You've been waiting.
So I called the administrator of Southampton, Ed Gibson, and I said, I just want to keep you in the loop that one of your residents who is an abutter spoke to us about his concerns. And so I just wanted to, let him know what was going on. And he said he would have the police department, the Southampton Police Department, pay a little extra attention to that area. And, I mentioned both the trash and the TV being dumped there, which probably wasn't somebody from the bike path, honestly. That would be somebody driving by. And the people relieving themselves on the unpaved section of the tracks in the Southampton, which really isn't our concern, but it is because we're neighbors, and if it is people using the trail, then it is our concern, in my opinion. But I mentioned porta potty, and he said, and I might have misunderstood him, Barb, but he said, well, we're not doing porta potties right now because of COVID and the issue with cleaning them. But I don't know if that's an official ruling from the state or if that's just their town policy or what. But somebody was going to call. I don't remember. I'd have to look at the minutes. Who was going to call?
I think John Lococo, John Lucido.
Okay.
John was going to call. I looked at Ricky's Porta Potty, their website, and there was nothing. I would think that they would have something about COVID if there was.
Right. I can tell you, I've been skiing, cross-country skiing at Notchview, and they have 5 porta potties set up because they don't let anyone into the visitor center, the lodge, except employees. So they have 5 porta potties out for the public, the skiers to use.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think, work sites, and I'll be able to tell you if Berkshire East has them tomorrow because that's where I'm going.
Yes, please report back. I haven't gone downhill this year, and that's one of the reasons, because I don't want to go inside the lodge and use a bathroom.
No.
Where people are eating without masks. But if they had them if I knew before I went that they had them in the parking lot, that would affect my decision. So let me know.
I think I read that they do have, you can use the ones in the lodge, or I think they have some outside. I'll let you know.
Please do. Oh, good.
So is somebody going to check with John if he doesn't come to the meeting tonight, or?
Yeah, we should. Yep. Hey, Peter, how are you?
Well, today was a bad day, but
yeah.
Oh,
here.
Not good.
We're glad to see you.
Yep.
Good to be on the green side of the grass. Well, I mean the white side of the ground.
White side. Okay. All right. Well, that was good that you talked to him, and it's good that the police are maybe going to keep a little bit, they're going to keep a little bit better eye on it, place.
Right.
So
And
was that,
the other good thing is that he said, I asked him how things were going for plans to pave their section. And they've got all kinds of things in the works there. And they've got, I think, money that's designated for that project. And Liz, maybe you know more about this from working with the group from the Northampton to New Haven group. You and, look, we lost Steve. But it sounds like they're ready to move.
good,
And they had some kind of visioning session or a open space planning session for the town, and building that bike path was at the top of their list as well.
Good.
One of the couple things at the top of their list. So
that's great. That's good news.
I found that really encouraging.
Good.
Where's that?
Southampton.
Just on the other side of Coleman, from Coleman to the ice cream, to Sheldon's.
Okay.
Are
And
they
I feel like that might solve the problem, is what I'm getting at. To me, if they pave that and turn it into a bike path,
Are they talking about paving it?
or whatever if they
Okay.
develop it, whatever I don't know what surface they're
Right.
considering. I feel like if it's used as a bike path,
Yeah.
hopefully that will do away with people
Right.
on the side.
Then we'll all be relieved.
Oh,
I mean,
I will let the butter know about that.
I let that one pass before.
Oh boy.
next. Moving on.
I do in a way think it's not a bad idea to have like maybe someday down the road to have a porta potty in that area. I'm just not sure where exactly it would be, because the truck has to get in there to service it, and so I think that, maybe it could be something that's on the Southampton side, but
Right.
it's just our side is a little tight, and I'm not sure unless it's like right there by the end.
There's no flat space, right? And
Yeah.
it would be nice if they, well, I don't know how long it will take them to go through a design and build, but parking is an issue there, and people will continue to access it, especially when the other end is in,
Well, maybe a joint effort to install some kind of self-composting toilet or something, like you have at campsites.
Yep. I think there should be one there of some kind in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see what John found out, but yeah, I think it's something to keep on our radar.
Okay.
Yep, good.
So I don't know, Wendy, if I can bring up that picture or not, but I can try.
Okay.
Uh,
So what Barbara's trying to show you is a bollard that is damaged, or at least the covering was damaged. Chris took the picture when he was out biking yesterday, I guess it was.
I think it's because it's a picture. I can't, I can bring up, I think, the document, but I put it right on I'm just not seeing it.
If you save it as put it on a Word doc and then bring up the Word doc, it should show.
You should be able to share your screen if you're the host.
Yep.
It's a file. It's a file, just like a document is.
I know.
Whatever's on your screen.
I know I have to have the document open, which I think I can do that for the chapter 3 one, which I think I can do that. But when I'm bringing up the share screen, I don't see it. I don't. It's not.
Well, I can bring it up on my phone and just hold it up and see if you guys can see it.
I have it on there. I'm just not seeing it.
So I don't know if you can see how it's broken.
Yep, you can.
Looks like somebody ran into it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it was I don't know who was plowing that, or I don't know how it was cleaned, but it looks like it's been cleaned.
Where is that? Where is that?
That's
located?
Coleman,
Oh, okay.
Coleman end.
Peter, do we have any spare bollard covers in the shed? Do you know? I mean, that's one of the special ones because
No, we don't. As far as I can remember, we don't have any extra square ones, and that's what that one is. I had a manufacturer the base of that to fit so we could put a pin through it. That just doesn't simply slide over and pin on. I had a glue a hole insert inside the middle of that so it would stay snug halfway up and near the bottom and stiff when I put it on. So
I mean, what we could do is just take off the red outer cover and just have the yellow one left.
Yeah.
So, how difficult is it to take the red one off, Peter?
I don't know. It depends how badly it's damaged, but I mean the key and if the padlock works with some WD-40, flushing it out, it just should slide off. Take the pin out.
Yep. And then put the pin back.
Yep.
David, want a project?
Guess so. So wait, is that one of the keys on the key ring with the shed key?
Yep. Well, I don't know what Barb gave you, but it's stamped on the key 3447. That's our standard bollard padlocks along the trail.
Yeah. Was that whole bunch of keys that you gave me, Peter? Are those the keys?
Yep. Those are all bollard keys.
Okay. And those have not been touched. So that still it might be a little stiff.
Yeah. Dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But what you do is you just take off the red thing and then the regular yellow bollard is underneath.
If you want me to meet you there and help, if you let me know when you're going, I can try to be of help. Or
I can as well. Give me a shout and I can scoot over there.
Peter, do you have any of those keys at your house, or did you give them all to me?
Well, that was a bunch of keys I found downstairs hanging on my key carousel, and I says, yeah, I might as well give them to you because they all go to the trail. So
okay.
So does each bollard have an individual key for an individual lock?
Nope. That one key opens every bollard, providing nobody else changed the padlocks from one end of the trail to the other. It's all the same padlocks. When I buy padlocks for there, I order them directly from Master Lock, and request that they're all keyed the same. So that's how the trail got one lock for one key that fits all the locks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of removing the lock, pulling the pin out, and then taking the covering off, and then
that's
reverse.
it. That's it. You just may have a problem with the padlock. That's all. Take WD-40 and a hammer. Seriously, no, the hammer, you squirt it with WD-40 and then aim it down and tap it with a hammer, and hopefully it washes out and flushes out any sand and grit in there so your key will go in. A paper towel. Paper towel helps to wipe it off, Dave, and clean it off when you're putting it in and out to clean it up a little bit.
So will the cold temperatures make it more difficult? Shall I wait until it's above freezing? Which shouldn't be too hard, but.
No, well, that's this week.
Yeah, I'd say probably Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, well, Thursday morning I have a doctor's appointment, but tomorrow if I'm feeling all right, or Wednesday, yeah, if you want to go out that early.
Yeah, I can, as long as I have the key, I can manage it. I mean, it doesn't sound too difficult.
No, it shouldn't be, but I don't mind, supervising you on those. Those were special. Those were different bollards from our standard ones, and I had a pad around the inside of the base, but you won't notice that until you go to try to slide it off. So,
Do we have WD-40 in the shed?
You don't own any?
I'm out.
I'm hoping, yeah, well, we should. I don't think I pulled any of some of the problem. I didn't pull any of the liquids out of there this fall to winterize the shed so that stuff wouldn't freeze, but go for it and see what happens.
I'll take a look.
I think we have some, and we live right, up the hill. So,
Well, I can bring a can as well. If you get there and you're having a problem, please give me a shout,
Yeah,
Well, I'll have to see if let me go check to see if I have that key, because there's 3 keys on the key ring that I got from you, Barb. At least 2 are to the shed, one to the padlock, and then one to the door.
Yeah, there's two keys that you need to get into the shed.
Right. And so there's a 3rd key. So I don't know if that 3rd key is for the bollard locks.
Oh.
It probably is. I don't see what else it would lock, Dave. Go check it out. See if
Yeah, let me go
it's
check.
Whoa, he disappears.
right into the water.
That's funny.
for a swim.
Yeah, but like I said, I won't be in tomorrow, but I'll be there, Wednesday morning, 7:30ish or so, anytime after that, if you need any of the keys or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think we've got a spare square one in there, so I'd have to go without it.
Yeah, I didn't think we did, but
Those were a lot more expensive, if I remember,
yeah,
when you were pricing them than the round ones. So
great. We only have there's like 2. I think there's only a couple on that section.
It's
Yeah.
hard to tell. Like, they don't have that number on them that you were mentioning.
They're gold, right? Isn't it gold?
Well, there's one.
Peter?
There's one gold one, and then 2 silver ones.
Hmm. Are those the keys from my office, David, or did you
Yeah.
make your? Oh, okay. Probably should get those back at some point.
Yeah, I was thinking I should just make copies so I can just get in and
Yeah.
out as I need to.
Yep. But anyway, any Wednesday or Thursday, whatever. I'll in the morning. I'm there till 12:30.
All right. Well, maybe what I'll do is also run over to the hardware store, make copies of these keys, get some
Okay.
WD-40.
Yep.
And then I can compare what I've got to the keys you have, and
Well, I have a whole
and then
bunch
I'll just
of
go,
I have a whole bunch of extra bollard keys that Peter gave me a whole bunch of them, so I can just give you one.
okay, so then I'll just add that to the rest, and then I'll go check it out.
Okay.
So I'll try to do that, later in the week.
Barb, maybe one of those extra keys on there maybe could be to a kiosk.
Oh, it could be. Yeah. Usually, I mean, it's what does it say on the tag there, David?
Shed key box.
Oh, maybe. Oh, is it to the little?
The brochure box? Is it the brochure box?
No, to the thing inside the shed, Peter.
Oh, maybe the key box inside the shed? It could be.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a key box?
But I don't keep that locked, so.
I don't know. Anyway, I'll be there Wednesday morning if you want to come by,
All right. I'm not going to promise Wednesday, but I'll do it.
or
before the
Thursday, and then I'm not there on Friday.
All right.
Any other trail things? Did the trees get taken care of before the last meeting or after it? The trees at Ferry
Before.
Street?
I think before, because
Before. Okay,
we talked about the amount that we're contributing versus what they were paying.
okay. Yep, I think I already paid that. Yeah, I paid I think we paid like $500.
We paid 500, they paid 1,000.
Yep.
Or we're paying 1,000.
Right.
Our DPW just went plowing by my street here out in Plain Street, so.
Well, so I still don't know who exactly is plowing all of the bike path. I mean, I assume Williston is doing a good portion of it, but I'm still not totally sure who's doing all of it, but it is nice, and I know people are really appreciating it.
How are they getting by the bollards with a plow truck unless they're not doing it with
Well, I think Williston's using its little sidewalk plow.
Okay, that'll squeak by without a problem, sure.
I don't know if the whole trail, I don't know if the section between, I thought South Street, I thought there was one section that still had snow on it. From South Street down to Williston, I thought Chris said still had snow on it, but I don't know.
I don't know. A good portion of it has been plowed. So I just hope whoever is doing it will want to continue to do it, because people get used to it. And then when they don't have it done, it's going to be, it's going to be a problem.
They'll be calling your office.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, people are saying thank you, and I don't even know who to thank, because we don't really know who's even doing it.
Right.
So what happened to Steve, I wonder? Where did
I
he
don't
go?
know. He got lost.
Yeah, he's not waiting to be let back in, but all right. So I wanted to bring up the fact that we have an ad hoc city council committee that's looking at all of the city ordinances just to review it for all sorts of different things. But they have kind of already talked about Chapter 3 for bicycles, but they're still they sent out a request for boards and committees and department heads to look at chapters which affect them and see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted or fixed or whatever. So I did send out the bicycle section. I mean, a lot of that has kind of been redone fairly recently. So I didn't really see anything that looked really off. But I wonder if anybody else did, or if you want to. Oh, you're muted.
Muted, Liz.
Hi, thanks. I saw one thing right off the bat, which was the definition of a bicycle, saying a two-wheeled vehicle. And I know that technically the definition of bicycle is two wheels, but there are so many other variations, a lot of them three-wheeled. So I don't think it should say a two-wheeled vehicle. I could say, I don't know how they would want to word it, but I would like to see it expanded, because there are a lot of adaptive cycles that have three wheels. There are a lot of recumbent cycles that have three wheels. And the drive wheel may not be the rear wheel, and some of those, it's the front wheel. So I would like to see that expanded to include more pedal-powered contraptions.
Okay. Can you and Ralph maybe come up with something?
Yep, we can do that.
Okay, because they do have a lot of definitions of other things. One of them has three-wheeled, but that's a motorized scooter.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I think we could just add or three. I mean, right now it says a two-wheeled vehicle having a rear drive wheel that is solely human powered. But then right below it, where they define low-speed electric bicycle, it says a two or three-wheeled vehicle.
Right.
So to me, just add or three-wheeled.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have to look and see if there are four-wheeled adaptive cycles too. Ralph may be able to help me on this. But yeah, we'll look at that and send something back to you.
Okay.
They may not be adaptive cycles, Liz, but they do make four-wheeled pedal-powered, I don't want to call them cars, they're bicycles, but you sit in them like a car and you pedal them. A lot of your vacation spots have those.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Oh, see, now I'm able to, because it was open, I'm able to do it. So here's the one. So yeah, some of the other definitions have more than two wheels, but bicycle, yeah.
All right, we'll work on that.
Well, why don't they just say, and then underneath have tricycle or quadricycle or unicycle?
Some of the ordinances specifically refer to bicycle, so it needs to, then you would have to say bicycle or tricycle each time.
Right.
I mean, would you call other things a bicycle, or they have other names?
Well, a tricycle, I wouldn't call a bicycle.
Right. And what's, what do you
But I
call
think
it?
for the purpose of an ordinance, you can stipulate that it includes something that would not normally be its natural definition.
Right, exactly.
Why don't they just say a wheeled vehicle?
Wheeled, pedal powered.
A wheeled human or pedal powered, right. Doesn't have to say how many wheels.
Well, and it has to include hand crank also. There are adaptive cycles that are hand cranked and not foot pedaled.
Yeah,
So you can't get too specific. All right, we'll work on it.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I'll scroll through it and keep anybody sees anything. So then.
Well, I had actually 3 things I wanted to bring up.
Okay. All right.
So one was related to not specifically the Manhan Rail Trail section, but the next part where they talk about speed limits. Now, I know that also applies to roadways, but I'm wondering at some point if we want to, because I don't feel like on the rail trail, you should be able to go as fast as you could go, say, if you're riding along the side of Route 10. And so whether it would make sense to at some point consider, even though it's not really enforceable, having a posted speed limit, which some rail trails do, some paved trails do. Because reasonable and prudent is such a vague term that.
Yeah, but I think trying to put a speed limit on a bike path is just, I don't know, you'd never be able to enforce it. And then I just think it's impractical. That's me. Lots of times, if somebody didn't have a cyclometer on there, how would they even know?
I don't think anybody would really know. I think it's more about just sending the message that you need to mind your speed. Because, sometimes you have these people who are hardcore bicyclists who move pretty fast. And it's one thing if they're doing it sort of on the outer edges, but sort of like behind the mills where there's a lot more foot traffic. I've had people zip by me and, 2 feet away and, they're just not being careful. They don't announce themselves. I just feel like, it's a hazard. And so
but
maybe we're sort of visiting this issue at some point and maybe getting feedback from.
I think trying to nail down a speed is just, I don't even know how you would do that.
Most of what I sort of glean online, some trails use like 15 or 20 miles per hour as the max.
That's pretty fast.
But you can go faster than that, like if you're, booking down.
Well, the only time I think you could really go faster than that is if you had an e-bike.
And there's some of those too. And I wonder if some of those actually do have speedometers.
Yeah. But I don't know, Liz, have you ever gone faster than like 20 miles an hour? That would be down a huge hill. It's just,
me personally, I'd have to be going down a hill, but I know people who are stronger and faster than I had could certainly go more than 20 miles an hour on a flat.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do it around, in a crowded section. There's no way.
I would hope not, but sometimes they do. That's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know.
The other section I wanted to talk about is riding the bicycle on sidewalks, which excludes sort of the business districts, whether other areas like along Pleasant Street and Northampton Street, where there's a lot of businesses, like those should maybe be included. And I'm just throwing that out there as something to consider, just because, there, especially along Pleasant Street, I think there's more businesses than there was probably when these were originally drafted.
Yeah.
So whether that is an appropriate place to ride a bicycle on the sidewalk, or whether that should be at least considered for inclusion.
Yeah, I suppose if there were a couple I would think maybe Pleasant Street could be added. Northampton Street, maybe. It could be suggested and then they could look at it.
I think you have to remember too that you might have a family with young children and they're trying to get to the bike path and they're on Pleasant Street. Do you really want them riding in the road? I think you have to wonder how frequently that happens to have somebody, an adult, riding on that versus. I guess I don't see it as a.
Well, I live on Pleasant Street, so I mean it's not unusual. And the sidewalks, especially on the side opposite, on the other side of the street from Eastworks, is particularly kind of narrow, and there are telephone poles kind of like right in the middle of the sidewalk as you go along. But I'm just sort of throwing that out there as something that's occurred to me, over time. And then just the third thing I was wondering about is whether there's an actual definition of the Manhan Rail Trail. Because when it references the trail, what is considered to be legally the geographic boundaries? Because I'm thinking as they maybe start to add like a spur to the new school, will that be considered part of the Manhan Rail Trail, or whether we need to sort of be more specific, at least as relating to the ordinances of what constitutes the Manhan Rail Trail? Because I went back and I looked on the Easthampton government website, and the street map that's on the site does not even include the part that meets up with the Northampton Trail. I think it's dated like 2013, but because I know that was not original. That came after most of the rest of it, except down by Coleman Road, that last stretch. So I'm just wondering, sort of, in terms of the ordinance, what is the Manhan Rail Trail? And does that need to sort of be spelled out? Because the rules that are applying here, we would want to apply on any paved section, even the ones that will connect with the rail trail, like on the spurs.
I'm not sure if the spurs are going to be part of the Manhan Rail Trail. If they're just going to be.
Right, but we would want the ordinance, like the thing about the electric bicycles, to apply to those sections too, I would think.
So maybe you could just say the Manhan Rail Trail and spurs or something.
That's not a bad idea.
Except there aren't spurs right now.
Right, but there will be.
There will be.
And any future
Connectors. Maybe connectors is a better word than spurs.
Right. No, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we have to totally define where it is because it's killer, but I do think we can, the Manhan Rail Trail and any future connecting spurs, or is that a good word for it?
Well, I mean, they reference shared use path or any connecting shared, like paved shared use.
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe that's a better Manhan Rail Trail and any. Oh, but that's in the definition is a shared use path, so you can't use a definition in a definition.
The Manhan Rail Trail and its connectors. I think that sums it up.
And any
future, because once they're made, they're no longer future. Yeah, the Manhan Rail Trail and its connectors are a shared use path as detailed. Blah blah blah.
Any current or future connectors.
Okay.
There you go. That's fine.
Well, I mean, as long as you don't need to reference the time frame,
Well,
it would be and its connectors, and if something connects with it, it's a connector, whether it's down the road or now.
Unless there's like informal connectors, would that be considered too, or like?
No, there's a dirt path through the woods that's getting somebody to the park or to the school that hasn't been officially created and added. I don't think rules would apply.
Well, it would be whatever the town owns, presumably, right?
City, yeah. I think if we just say Manhan Rail Trail and connectors or spurs, either one, it's the intent is clear.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't worry about the little paths that the kids create getting
No.
on and off. That's not an issue. I mean, you're not going to be able to clearly define every little minute piece of this.
Right.
It's just, I think it's really to give the city or the police department a way of controlling issues when they come up. I think it's just to give them something that is in writing.
Yeah.
Well, and ideally also provides guidance to like users of the trail or residents of Easthampton,
Right.
or visitors or whomever would be
Right.
interested in what the law is around these parts.
Right.
Okay. I mean, this whole part in here, there were things added for the whatchamacallit, the big
Pedal
pedal and party.
tavern.
Yeah, that.
Oh, right.
There were things that were added kind of because of that. Okay, all right, so let's see. Some of these others are pretty old, but
Yeah, and a lot of this stuff is taken directly from the language in the state laws.
right, which I don't know why I'm always of the thought that if something is in the state law, why do we have to have it in our ordinances?
Exactly.
I really don't understand that, but
I think the only purpose is like to put a exclamation mark on it, basically, because they don't even mention anything about, where they talk about equipment, they don't mention lights, which obviously would be essential after dark, but they mention helmets and brakes.
yeah.
So Barbara, does this state law supersede this anyway?
I think it would. Liz, would you? Ralph would
Yes.
probably know that.
Yes.
Well, I got to fix these numbers. They're not right.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there because it's already covered by
Right.
state law.
Right. Yeah, like all this down, that helmets, there's no reason why that needs to be in here, I don't think, but and brakes,
But yeah, I mean, if you're going to have helmets and brakes, I agree that having lights after dusk is probably.
I mean, I truthfully think this whole article should be out of there, because
Which article?
the Article 4
Oh,
that I'm looking at right now,
oh, okay.
brakes, helmets, I mean, those are state law.
Right.
It's not anything in particular to Easthampton.
I think so
Right.
long as it's stated somewhere, either on our, I don't even know if it's on our website or on the kiosk that. by
I mean,
state law.
I guess it doesn't hurt anything, but
Right, it seems superfluous.
yeah, but I guess it doesn't hurt anything really.
I mean, if people come in from another state or they're visiting, they might not know. Some places might not have helmet laws, and we do.
Well, let's hope they have brakes.
I know.
It's like, oh, you don't have brakes? That's a problem.
Well, if it's going to include brakes and helmets, it seems like it should say lights also, even though all those things are covered under, and seats and whatever else was in there are all covered under state law.
Right. Well,
Like everything in there, we don't have any of it.
Are you saying that every bike should have a light on it?
Yes, they're required. If after dusk and before dawn, they are required in state law.
Oh, but just riding if you ride during the day, you don't need a light.
Oh, no.
No. Okay, so. Okay, so how about Liz? You're going to work on the definition of bicycle.
Yep.
And we'll suggest that they maybe add the connectors to the definition of the bike path, the Manhan Rail Trail.
Yep.
I guess for me, I think that seems okay.
Okay.
You can just do that and email it to me, Liz, and I can pass it along.
All right.
I mean, I'm okay with, what you and Ralph come up with.
Okay. All right. We'll look at that in the next couple of days.
Okay. I mean, you can maybe send it to the committee and just in case there's any comments.
Okay.
visiting the Manhan Rail Trail and its connectors are
Yeah.
Right.
That's good. Is that it?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I stop that. So I don't know if Steve is going to do half a meeting's worth of minutes or not. I guess we can add on to it when he does it. But
Unless he's listening, but we
I
don't
don't-
even see
he's
his
not
audio.
here.
he would show up as
Yeah,
something must have happened. I don't have anybody waiting to come in, and
yeah.
so. All right.
Emergency.
Are there any other things that people want to bring up?
Well, it's hard without John Lucido here because he was going to follow up with the lights. And
Yeah.
so I wonder if there's a way, if people don't come to the meeting, is there a way to contact them to at least find
Do a
out
report. Yeah.
what's going on?
I've got a note to email John about the porta potties. So,
Okay. Ask him about the lights.
Liz, do you have any idea what's happening with the bike week? Have you heard anything?
No.
Okay. It's early. I do think we need to do a mulching this spring, which I think we can do, wearing masks and we're outside and that kind of thing. But that's not till May. So
Right.
we don't have to think about it quite yet. But I just didn't know if you had heard anything.
No, they did a bike month thing in September, I think it was, and then which we didn't get involved with, and I haven't heard a word since then.
Okay, I'll bet you that's probably going to be it for,
Yeah.
but
I do get the emails from those folks, so I will let you know if I hear anything.
okay. Is there any update on the committee that connect the big Northampton to New Haven or whatever?
Yeah, we had a meeting last week, and they are working on a website. One of the members of the committee has put together a website, and we all looked at that and made suggestions. They're making a Google map that incorporates all the sections. They don't want to do a printed map, but the map will be online, but it'll have links to the website of every individual section. So if you can click on Manhan Rail Trail and print out a map if you want from there. There's very little enthusiasm for making any more printed maps, but I still feel like I think they should be available. They're going to get someone to design a logo for the whole Northampton, New Haven and Northampton corridor. They're going to approach some of the local art departments of colleges and offer it as a student project to create a logo for the whole thing. Somebody on the committee had come up with one, but it wasn't a hit. So they're going to get a professional or a semi-professional person who designs logos to do it for them. Those are the biggest bits of news.
okay.
So just to add on to that, I'm still waiting for the guy in Northampton who was revising the map to give to you. And he was supposed to have it to me a week and a half. Well, what's today? Like a week ago. And so I'll follow up with him.
Okay. And do you have the email for Christy Banish, who is the coordinator of this committee? Okay.
I was communicating with her because the map maker asked me some formatting questions.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know what Christy wanted in the way of format. Yeah. And so I passed them along to her.
Okay.
And that they don't know what they want. So I didn't get back to him because I didn't have anything. So I don't know if he's still waiting but I'll tell him that they just want the map and they'll figure out their own. He wanted to know what size it was going to be. Now I know it's not going to be printed. I will at least give him that information.
Yeah. I would be happier if they would make at least a printable when they put the whole thing together into an electronic thing, if they at least made it so individuals could print it out at home and carry it with them.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I will say that, go ahead.
Whatever you get from Northampton, yeah, just pass it on directly to Christy. I forget which person on this committee is actually handling the map project.
Okay.
But she'll know.
Just to your comment about having a paper copy, every time Chris goes out, I give him a pile of brochures to feed the Coleman Road, and I only gave him a few because I don't want them to end up all over the place, and they're always gone. So people are taking them, and this is winter, so
using them as toilet paper.
Using them as toilet paper. I hope not.
Yeah,
well, I certainly think we need to continue to provide paper printed maps for our section. Whether there ends up being a paper map of the entire corridor or not, at least people will be able to go online and print out a map for each section. You know, if they're going to do more than one section in a trip, they can have the individual pieces in their pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably still have close to a box, and I have no idea what Paul Donay has at his house still of the maps. Okay. You know, probably should reach out to him and get them back from him.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how to reach him. You know. So
I don't know if is anybody putting them at the Union Street kiosk?
I mean, I haven't been out there since, during the winter.
Okay.
I did fill it up a couple times, in the fall, and I went down to Route 5 at least once or so, but I mean, since it's been snowy, I haven't been out.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a container at the end of the trail, the Route 5 end. Does anybody know what that was for? It's right on the side of the parking lot there.
Container? What do you mean by container?
Like a shipping container, like it wasn't a pod, I don't know if it was supposed to be a construction, like a construction trailer but it looked like it was, I don't know. I just didn't know if anybody knew what was going on down at that end.
I don't know. I did happen to be down in the Public Works Director's area in his office today, and they were having a Zoom meeting about the Route 5 end. And they were talking about the parking, the parking that they hope to add. I asked him if he knew what was going on with Dunkin' Donuts, and I don't really know what the meeting was about, but they were having a Zoom meeting and they had a picture of the Route 5 end, and I think they were talking about the parking. So maybe might be good to reach out to Jeff and see what's going on down there with that. I'll send him a note.
Okay.
Wendy, going back to something that the Google group thing that was supposed to take over from the Yahoo groups. Right. I totally have forgotten about that. Do you know anything about? No,
because I think the guy was waiting for the list from you for whoever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent it to him.
Was that Tim Carey?
Yeah. Seems like, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look because it was during a really busy time, and I think I did finally send it to him, but I'm not sure what happened.
Okay. Yeah, we need to have that because I think it would be a good thing to let people know routinely what's going on. Send out some email blasts once in a while.
I'll have to pull up the emails and see where that ended and see what's going on with it. It seems like there was something that we needed to do, and I I don't know if I did it or not. So
Okay.
I'll need to look into that.
Okay.
But
Did you get my email like a few weeks ago with pictures of the root damage over by?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And I don't think I did anything with that either. Yeah, you sent it right after the meeting.
Yeah.
I need to send it to the park department.
Oh, so was this by the trees by Mill Pond Park?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you did, David. I'm sorry. I did get that and
Right.
was going to do something, and then I don't think I did. So I've got a note.
Right.
And you had, another thing to follow up on, you had mentioned removing some people from the committee list who hadn't been to a meeting in years. And I concur with that. And I think we should call the list. And I mean, I would, for one, would like to know who is officially a member of the committee. And
Okay, I can give you that. Yeah,
Peter notwithstanding, but
right. Peter doesn't count. He's a
Peter
member.
doesn't count. But I mean, there are people that have been included. It's a very long email list,
Right,
but there are people that we haven't seen. And
right,
And I'm sure they're tired of getting all our emails too.
yeah.
right. Yeah, I think it should just go to the committee. You know, it doesn't need to go to all these people who were coming to a meeting for a while and then, you know, but I'll send, I mean, I can send everybody the list of who is actually a member now.
Good.
Right, because they have to get approved by the city every
Right.
year.
Yeah, I mean, if you look on the city website under agendas, under the committees, that is up to date.
Okay.
So
So
everybody,
that should be the list that we go by then.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. So I know Eleanor, finally, she said no to being reappointed. I can't,
Like, who else?
Donna? Is Donna still on there?
oh, no.
Kate?
Betty, I don't know if Betty's still on it.
Bill Burkhart, is Bill still on there?
No, Bill's
No.
not on it. No.
How about Kate? Was it Kate?
Yeah.
She's-
Yeah, we haven't seen her in a while. We haven't seen Kevin either.
Right. So,
But they're still members as far as I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, they're more
how
recent.
can you be a member if you haven't been to a committee meeting in years? To me, that does not,
Well, there's
Define membership.
an example is Annette. Annette is still on the committee, but she doesn't do Zoom. So I think if we were meeting in person, she would be there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I just saw both of you at the same time.
Right.
Yes.
I think there are some people who aren't doing meetings right now because they just don't do Zoom.
I think that's an extenuating circumstance, but there are people who are on the committee who haven't been to a meeting for years before the pandemic.
Yeah, let's look and see who we have on there and see what, you know. Because there is a way through the charter that if somebody hasn't been to a meeting in a really long time, I know, accepting due to the COVID Zoom situation, that we can vote to take them off the committee.
Right.
But
All right. I got to turn into a pumpkin in a couple of minutes. Is there anything
right.
else?
yeah, let's pick our next meeting. Let's see. I gotta get the calendar. We got lots of Mondays in March.
Here,
22nd or the 29th.
I don't care.
Either or.
22nd is fine.
All right, let's do the 22nd.
6:30 again?
Sure. Okay. All right. And then we have to track down Steve.
Yeah, that's funny he Spanished.
Maybe he's out there in cyberspace someplace.
So just to get back to one quick question, the routes. So you have pictures of the routes. So what's the next step and who's going to follow up? So what's the plan? You're going to try and get the Parks Department to?
I think we were going to try to bring the park department into the conversation for the ones down by Millside and see if there's anything they can do to help, you know, once weather gets better.
They're the ones
think
who
it's-
planted them.
I think it's worth an ask.
Yeah.
They're the ones who planted those.
trees.
Yep. Can we ask them to take the trees down? No.
So how are you you're just gonna send those pictures with a little blurb?
Right. Well, I think I wrote a long enough email where I documented which seemed sort of worst as first priority by which tree, which was second, and which was third. And I had pictures of each. And there are some that, I mean, there's lesser damage, but it's mostly by two trees that are sort of close to each other. So there's one section that maybe they need to tackle first. Oh, there goes Liz.
Yeah, there's Liz. I mean, maybe them working with the DPW and when weather gets better, maybe if they're not too far apart, maybe they can just take out that whole section and cut the roots and just, but it's really just a little strip. I don't think, it seems like you could just take the root out, cut it, and then repave it.
Right.
I mean, it's probably a section that's, I don't know, 20 feet long that would go by two trees, because some of the roots kind of branch off right beneath the trail.
Right. Well, I fully intended to do it, but I just forgot. I think maybe sending it to Park and Rec and the DPW, and maybe, them working together, maybe they can deal with the ones that are the worst. I mean, they're pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, there are other parts of the trail that have root damage here and there, but that's the worst I've come across. I mean, there's a few kind of over behind Ferry Street too.
Yep.
And even behind the auto body place, there's a few.
Yeah, that's bad.
And, and I definitely seen some cracks widen the last couple months with the freeze thaw.
Oh, really? Well, I think in the spring, if they're not already marked so that people see them, I think it would be a good idea to go out and mark them.
That's what I was planning to do once
right.
all the snow is passed.
Right.
Okay.
Now with Manchester's closed, where you going to get supplies?
Oh, I could try Abishan.
Yeah.
Or Foster Farrar. Yeah, I miss Manchester's, boy. Whew.
We all do.
Yeah.
That was tough. Highland in Holyoke also was really good too.
Yeah. But all right.
Okay.
Okay, so March 22nd, 6:30. And I guess that'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Be well, everybody.
Hope you're feeling better, Peter.
Yeah. Hope tomorrow's a better day.
It changes day to day, So thanks.
Okay. All right.
Good
Good
to
night.
see you, though. Bye, everybody.
Bye.